You are Locked On Giants POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports San Francisco on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KNBR 680. And after yesterday's walk-off win, the San Francisco Giants had another real shot at extra inning heroics today, but couldn't get it done against the Los Angeles Dodgers as they fall 6-4 at Oracle Park. Hicks pitched pretty well, and there were good signs from the rookie outfielders who accounted for all four of the Giants' RBIs tonight, but 390s and a crucial base running mistake cost the Giants a win today. And man, oh man, am I sick and tired of seeing all this Dodger blue in the stands at Oracle Park. We'll break it all down, but first I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Sports San Francisco YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're getting the show, we appreciate you tuning in, and make sure to check out the Locked On Giants daily show for more in-depth coverage. Ben Kaspick does a great job. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Man, this game was not fun. I mean, it was fun to watch, don't get me wrong, like from a baseball perspective, but man, am I so tired of seeing the Giants lose over and over and over again to the damn Dodgers. This is like my least favorite thing to watch in all of sports. I mean, pick a sport, baseball, football, basketball, pick any team, any rivalry in the Bay Area. I would rather see the Niners lose to any other team in the NFL than see the Giants continue to lose to the Dodgers. I despise watching the Giants lose to the Dodgers, and they've been doing a whole hell of a lot of losing to the Dodgers these last couple of years, especially at Oracle Park. They haven't really been able to do a whole lot here at home. I mean, one of the best home field advantages in all of baseball, except for when they play the Dodgers. The Dodgers seem to just completely invade Oracle Park every single time they play. Tonight, another sea of blue with some spatterings of black and orange in the stands. I mean, Giants fans, we got to start getting to these games. I know the Giants have not been very competitive against the Dodgers, but it might help the team if they actually get some support from the fans when they come home. I mean, this is ridiculous at this point. Giants fans got to start showing up and beating Dodgers fans to the yard. I mean, you can't let this continue as long as it has for. I mean, this is the Giants. It's not like this is the A's, man. Like you go to a game at the Coliseum, you expect to see more away jerseys than home jerseys. We cannot let Oracle Park turn into that. And that's exactly what it's becoming and has been, honestly, in these last few years with Giants-Dodgers series. It's embarrassing. It's flat out embarrassing. Giants fans need to show some pride and get out to the yard and make a point to do it. You only have 2 series at home against the Dodgers this year. You should be getting out to the yard and supporting this team. So this game started off in the worst way possible for Giants fans. Mookie Betts solo shot to lead off this game, his 7th home run of the season. He fouled off a ton of pitches in that at bat. 3 pitches he fouled off in a row before swatting that one out of the park. Hung a sweeper low and inside and caught way too much of the plate. Gives the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. But for Hicks, that's just the 2nd home run he's given up all season long. Hicks has been great coming into this one. He had a 2.30 ERA, 3-1 record in 8 starts. And today he was in line for the win when he wrapped up his outing on the mound. He had 5 innings pitched, held the Dodgers to just 2 runs, which is, I think, all you can really ask for when you're facing Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani and Will Smith and all these other. I mean, you got 4 guys, the top 4 guys in that lineup combined for like over $1 billion in salary. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And Hicks did a phenomenal job against him. Scattered 7 hits, picked up 4 strikeouts, 2 with the sweeper. That sweeper is really coming alive for him. He lived around the knees all night long with that 2-seam fastball. And as I said, he was in line for that win, pitched very well, got 8 groundouts, and got a double play as well, pitched around all these runners on base, 93 pitches, 56 strikes. Hicks was moving on the mound out there. And the reason that he was in line for the win is because in the bottom of the second inning, after a Wilmer Flores leadoff single and a Blake Sabol single, Luis Matos picks up his first hit of the 2024 season and blasts one over the left field wall, 104 miles an hour off the bat. His third career major league home run. For what it's worth, he's hit 3 home runs so far this season in AAA Sacramento. It gave the Giants a 3-1 lead, and it erased that Mookie Betts home run that started the game off, gave the Giants a bunch of momentum. And I think it was unexpected momentum from my perspective. I did not think that Matos was going to get into one like that there. He has not shown that he can hit big league pitching yet. So this is a really good sign from Matos. He did have another chance here in this game to put this one away in the bottom of the ninth, but he couldn't get it done as he popped out to left field to end the inning. He did give that one a little bit of a ride, but he had I keep wanting to say Luis Ramos. He had Heliot Ramos and Luis Matos. Heliot Ramos, Luis Matos. Anyways, Matos had Ramos on second base after he singled and stole second base. And he had a chance to drive in the winning run in the bottom of the ninth, couldn't do it, popped out to left to end the inning. But overall, Matos and Ramos both have really good days at the plate. The Dodgers did cut into the Giants' lead in the top of the fifth. Mike Yastrzemski, before the Dodgers cut into the Giants' lead, Mike Yastrzemski made an unbelievable catch as a line drive off the bat of Mookie Betts was slicing away from him towards the right field line. Yaz Superman dive, full extension, makes the play and saves a run with Pages on second base after his leadoff double. And if you were reading Jordan Hicks's lips when they cut back to him, you could see that he said, "Holy S." And I think you know what 4-letter word I'm talking about, but another word for poop, man. I mean, he was just as baffled as we were by that play. What a great play by Mike Yastrzemski in right field, showing why he honestly should be a Gold Glove candidate out there in right. But right after that, a passed ball from Blake Sabol allows Pages to advance to third base, and a Shohei Ohtani infield single scores a run. Can't give up free 90s. That free 90 comes back to haunt the Giants because the Dodgers cut into their lead 3-2 with that run that would not have scored in that inning if that pass ball didn't get by Blake Sabol. And Blake Sabol on the one knee catching, he's not a traditional catcher. He never really played catcher. That's not what he grew up doing. He's 6'4". He's big back there. He's kind of awkward. This is something that Blake Sabol has learned how to do as kind of in his big league career. I mean, he's a guy who is really good at the plate for the Giants, but he's not very good defensively at all. After that inning, Hicks did finish up that inning, get out of it with the lead still intact, 3-2 lead. After that fifth inning, in comes Luke Jackson in the sixth, gives a free 90 up to Max Muncy, walks him, and then another passed ball from Blake Sabol allows Max Muncy to take second base. And I feel like Bailey would have blocked both of these. I don't think that either of these runs score if Pat Bailey is back there behind the plate for the Giants. Lux comes up and smacks a ground rule double into basically the same spot that Casey Schmidt hit his walk-off ground rule double yesterday and scores Max Muncy. Dodgers tie it up 3-3. Jordan Hicks no longer in line for the win. Not that the Giants were able to pull it out anyways, but 3-3, Dodgers tie it up with another free 90 given away. I mean, this whole run was scored just on free 90s. You put the guy on for free, you walk him, and then you give him a free base with a pass ball, and then all you need is one hit in the inning to score the run. That's exactly what the Dodgers come up with. And these two runs, I mean, the Giants lose by 2, but more importantly, the Giants, they were tied in the ninth inning. If the Giants don't even just one of these runs scored, the Giants win this game. And that is not a way that you can't be giving away wins to the Los Angeles Dodgers. You can't give a team like the Dodgers free 90s, free base runners constantly throughout the game like this. They will capitalize. And both of these times the Dodgers did. And it ultimately is what sunk the Giants tonight. And they did show signs of life after that. In the bottom of the sixth, the Giants come back after the Dodgers tied it up, drew a couple of walks, and Heliot Ramos comes up with another huge base hit to score Matt Chapman. It was a ground ball to the left side of the infield, but he hit it at 108 miles an hour. And what do we always bring up, always remind you guys of? Barry Bonds, the greatest baseball player of all time, said, hit the ball hard somewhere and good things will happen. Well, guess what? Ramos keeps hitting the ball hard, 108 off the bat, and good things happened. He drove in yet another run. This dude just keeps hitting in clutch situations whenever the Giants have a rally, whenever he's up in these moments. It seems like he comes through. He keeps the line moving. When he's up with runners on base, he seems to be pretty clutch, man. And now to do it again in this situation against the Dodgers in the middle of this knockdown, grind out game where the lead is switching back and forth, for a rookie to come up and do this is impressive. Certain guys just have that clutch factor you can't measure, and it looks like Ramos might have that. This hit actually chased Yamamoto from the game. Ramos, he in 7 plate appearances with runners in scoring position this season so far in his short time in the bigs, he's got 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a walk. That's amazing. It's a very small sample size, but if this guy can keep it rolling, I think, as I've said numerous times, if you follow me on Twitter at Eric_Engel, you have seen me tweeting out constantly over the last couple days since he got here and during the Colorado series. I think every day, once a day, I'm at least tweeting out one tweet about why Ramos should never, ever, ever wear a River Cats uniform again. I think it's probably more like 4 or 5 tweets a night based on the games that he's been having. He's been so good defensively in the outfield. And you heard Bob Melvin basically say today that it's going to be Luis Matos in center and Heliot Ramos in left for a while now, with Mikey Yaz in right, and Tyler Fitzgerald, I'm sure, will get some run in there to spell some guys as well. His best position defensively in the outfield is center field, but man, it hurts not having Jung-Hoo Lee out there, man, in a game like this one. It really did. The Giants didn't get to a couple balls in center field today that I think Jung-Hoo Lee might have had a chance to get to. We'll get to that a little bit later, but in the top of the 7th, Eric Miller comes in after the Giants take that 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th, and Kike Hernandez comes in, first batter of the inning, pinch hit home run, low and inside changeup. It was actually off the plate, and Kike somehow got around on it and pulled it down the line, still keeping it fair. Pretty impressive piece of hitting, honestly. And the Dodgers tie it up 4-4. And then in true Eric Miller fashion, showing that he is still just this unbridled young Mustang with all this raw talent, just running wild and free out there on the mound, comes out and strikes out Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani back to back with just electric stuff. I mean, the kid is clearly talented, but he is still a rookie. And before this season, he had never pitched above Double-A Richmond. I mean, this is a huge moment for this guy to be in Dodgers Giants series at Oracle Park. And he comes up against Betts and Ohtani, but can't get it done against Kike Hernandez. And so the rookie had a little bit of a tumultuous outing out there, tied it up 4-4, that Kike Hernandez pitch hit home run. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Tyler Fitzgerald is picked off after Wilmer Flores draws a leadoff walk and Fitzgerald comes in to pinch run for him. Ramos comes up and has an infield single right after this happened. Giants should have first and second with nobody else. And then Jackson Reitz comes up, strikes out, and instead, now that's 2 outs. Matos comes up, has a chance to be the hero, as we talked about earlier, but pops out to left and ends the inning. We go to extras, and it's kind of tough when you start extra innings and you got Mookie Betts just standing on second base to start the inning with no hit to do so. This is the dumbest rule in baseball, and I hate it. Hate it more and more and more every time I see it. I hate Rob Manfred and his stupid, dumb Manfred runner that he puts at second base in extra innings. This is not real baseball. This is like something that you do with your friends because it's getting dark outside and you're playing like pickup baseball at the park across the street when you're 12 years old and you need to hurry up because mommy's calling you home for dinner. And like, I don't understand. All these people are grown adults. Why can we not just play baseball the way baseball is intended to be played? Anyways, Taylor Rogers comes in and tries to pitch around this garbage situation with Mookie Betts standing on second and Shohei Ohtani at the dish. He actually strikes out Ohtani, but he walks Freddie Freeman, a Will Smith double to center field, and Matos can't get to it. However, I kind of feel like Jung-Hoo Lee could have gotten to that ball. I know that it would have been a stretch. Matos got a bad jump, kind of stumbled on his way out there. The way that Jung-Hoo gets his jumps on balls, the way that he can read things off the bat, and his speed and his glove skill, I think Jung-Hoo Lee gets to that ball. I really do. So that injury looming large for the Giants, obviously, as we knew it would, but immediately impacts what could have been a game-changing play for the Giants against the Dodgers in extra innings at Oracle Park. Like, probably one of the biggest situations of this young season so far. Instead, Dodgers take the 6-4 lead, and then in true San Francisco Giants fashion, Thairo Estrada grounds into a double play to end this one in bottom 10. Dodgers win again, and they've won a lot against the Giants lately. Since August 1st of 2022, the Giants are 2-12 against the Dodgers. Yikes. Big yikes. Doesn't look so good for me with my little bet that I made with my friend, my Dodgers fan friend. I hate to admit it, but I do have some friends who are Dodgers fans, and made a bet with one of them about how this head-to-head series was going to go this season. Looks like I'm going to be buying some dinner at the end of this year, a nice expensive dinner that's going to be on my tab. So anyways, the Giants can't pull it out against the Dodgers, lose 6-4 at Oracle Park for the 12th time since 2022. This is tough, man. More to break down from this one on the other side. Hicks was pretty good. The rookies were good. Yamamoto, we also got to talk a little bit about that guy because he very well could have been a Giant this offseason. And man, oh man, we saw what we were missing out on today on the mound. Stick with us on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple-E Engel. We will be right back. Today's show is sponsored by Policygenius. Shopping for life insurance is something that can be overwhelming for many people, and that's why I'm here to tell you about Policygenius. Policygenius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It saves you time and money so you can provide your family with a financial safety net starting today. With Policygenius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million worth of coverage. That's a pretty good value. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policygenius helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed medical experts is on hand to talk you through it. Talk to a team of award-winning agents who will walk you through the process step by step. This is important because many of you may not be as well covered as you think. Your work life insurance policy may not offer enough protection for your family's needs, and even worse, it may not come with you if you leave your job. Policygenius gives you unbiased advice from a licensed expert support team. They have no incentive to recommend one insurer over the other, so you can trust their guidance. Check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policygenius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonmlb or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/lockedonmlb. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I am your host, Eric Triple-E Engel. Today, the Giants fall 6-4 in extra innings. Couldn't pull off the second consecutive extra innings win after they walked off the Reds on Mother's Day at Oracle Park yesterday. Come out to play the Dodgers, and man, they just keep doing what they've been doing against the Dodgers. Again, they've dropped 11, 12 of their last 14 meetings. That's not good. Jordan Hicks did everything he could today. He coming into this one, he's been great this season. Coming into this one, 2.30 ERA, 3-1 record on 8 starts, only giving up 1 home run on the season until that Mookie Betts blast. But he really settled in after that one, and he had some pretty good moments on the mound today. 8 ground outs. I mean, this guy lives low in the zone with that sinker / two-seam fastball. It's a two-seam fastball. I don't understand why we keep calling these things sinkers. Anyways, he's been pretty solid on the hill for the Giants, and Yamamoto was his opponent today, who obviously a lot of Giants fans like myself really, really wanted to see in a Giants uniform, and they're kind of similar stat-wise. Coming into this one, they looked really similar, man. Yamamoto has like one more win. He's 4-1, but a 2.79 ERA. Hicks 3-1 with a 2.30 ERA. If I had asked you guys at the beginning of the season, Jordan Hicks or Yoshimbo Yamamoto, you would have said, I want Yamamoto. I mean, very likely would have said that. I know I would have said that. So it's good to see, obviously, Jordan Hicks pitching well as he has been all season long. I did not think he was going to be nearly this good for the Giants. but they waste another fantastic outing by Hicks. It's tough when you got a guy up there doing this. I mean, 5 innings of 2-run ball and he doesn't get the win. It's tough, man. The bullpen, the lack of defense of, at the catcher position, the lack of a viable defensive catcher is really hurting the Giants. I mean, you saw Jackson Reitz come back in, but then he comes up in a big moment in the 9th. You're kind of handcuffed. I kind of wish they did this the other way around. Like, leave the big bat, leave Sable on the bench to come in and be a situational hitter, or put him in at DH. I don't want to see Blake Sable at catcher anymore. It is costing the Giants so much defensively. I don't think that you can put him back there. And I mean, Bob Melvin, the Giants manager, is a former catcher himself. So I think he's got to, be the one who's driven most insane by this, probably. I mean, I can't imagine how Bob Melvin must feel watching runs score based on past balls at the catcher position, watching a guy sitting there on one knee that's 6'4", not being able to have the agility to block these balls and keep them in front of him. You really miss Patrick Bailey, man. The Giants need him in such a bad way. The Giants need Patrick Bailey to be competitive. I mean, at this point, you're just really hoping that they can get some bodies back. I don't know if the Giants are going to be able to have enough reinforcements come back soon enough before they fall completely out of the NL West race. I mean, they're on the verge of it already. They're 9 games back after the loss tonight to the Dodgers. The Giants, I should mention, 19-24 on the season now, 5 games below 500. Still the Dodgers, 28-15. Wouldn't that be nice? Man? Hard to do when you have more than half of your team's payroll on the injured list, when you're missing Patrick Bailey, when you're missing Jung-Hoo Lee, when your free agent additions are either injured or not really contributing. I mean, Matt Chapman has played better as of late. He did pick up another hit and a walk tonight. So getting on base twice, that's, I think probably what you hope for with Matt Chapman, is getting on base 2 to 3 times a game in a lot of his outings. And that's what he did tonight. So, I mean, credit to him for that, but it's not enough, man. It's really not enough. Jorge Soler has been terrible for the Giants, and Matt Chapman really has been too, for the most part. He's had a couple moments, but both these guys have massively underperformed. And when you have all of these injuries on top of underperforming stars, I don't know how you're supposed to remain competitive. I really don't. Giants pitching is going to keep them around in a lot of these games. Again, they only lose by 2 runs. They keep it real close. They just can't get it done, man. They just can't get it done. When the Giants give up 4 or more runs, they have a really hard time winning games, like very, very, very hard time winning games. It's a canyon of a difference between when they give up 1 run versus when they give up 4 runs versus when they only give up 3 or less. When they give up 3 or less, they're 16-1. When they give up 4 or more, they're 3-22. Now 3-23 on the season. That 1 run is the world of difference for the Giants. And today, that 1 run could have been that those base runners that got those free 90s because of the bad defense at catcher by Blake Sable. I mean, we really need Pat Bailey back. Like, I can't say that enough times. I feel like I should just spend the last 7 minutes of this podcast saying we need Patrick Bailey back behind the dish. Stick with us on the Locked On Giants postcast. We got to talk a little bit more about Ramos and Matos' day, plus a little look into Yamamoto's day as well. We got to look a little bit deeper at that. This guy looks like a creative player in MLB The Show. The number of pitches he has, everything he does out there on the mound. I mean, sheesh, man, this guy is just dominant. I'm bummed he's not a Giant. Bummed that he's a Dodger, of all teams for this guy to go to. Had to be the Dodgers, man. Stick with us on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm Eric Triple E Engel. We will be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Spring training is over and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your PrizePicks entries. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, take your pick of more or less and add them to your PrizePicks entry today. PrizePicks has something for every sports fan, from baseball and basketball to League of Legends and everything in between. You can even pick Nikola Jokic, Shohei Ohtani, Connor McDavid, and Jude Bellingham all in the same entry. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. It's PrizePicks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. The Giants fall 6-4 to the Dodgers in extras at Oracle Park today. Giants can't pull out the second extra innings win in as many days. The Dodgers keep rolling against the Giants. The Giants have dropped 12 of their last 14 games against the Dodgers, dating back to August 1st of 2022. It's been really tough sledding for the Giants out there, and they had a tough one today with Yamamoto on the mound. I mean, this guy has 7 different pitches that he can throw for strikes at the big league level. That is absolutely nuts, completely insane. This guy recorded strikeouts tonight with his splitter twice, with a slider once, with a sinker once, with a four-seam fastball, and with a curveball. He had 5 strikeout pitches tonight. 5 different pitches he struck guys out with. That's incredible, man. Like, I hate when the Dodgers get guys like this that are like very highly coveted free agents, and the Giants are right there on them too, and all of a sudden they're a Dodger. I mean, the only thing that could have been worse about like the Arson Judge situation is if that guy, instead of re-signing with New York, actually went to the Dodgers. That would have been the only thing worse that could have happened in the Arson Judge situation. And Yamamoto kind of just felt like a big swing and a miss for the Giants. It seemed like a guy who would have thrived at Oracle Park. I mean, the pitcher's park with this guy to pair with their other phenom from the Far East that they got in Jung-Hoo Lee in the offseason. It would have been all great vibes out at the yard. Instead, he heads down to LA to go play with Shohei Ohtani. And man, oh man, is that just the worst combination to see in Dodger blue, which I'm so tired of seeing Dodger blue at Oracle Park. I can't stand it. We need more Giants fans at these games. Please, for the love of God, go to one of these games. Download the Game Time app. One of our sponsors. Look for the last minute, flash sales and things like that. Zone deals. Get in on these Giants Dodgers games. They only come to Oracle Park, only come into San Francisco twice a year now with the new schedule. So you got to get in and see these games, support the Giants, give them a boost. And you're also going to go see a lot of the young guys out there. The young guns really contributing tonight. Ramos and Matos mainly accounted for all four. I should say only accounted for all of the Giants RBIs tonight. Matos did it on one swing of the bat with that bomb, that 3-run bomb, and Ramos coming up with another great situational hit. Ramos 2 for 4 tonight. He did have another strikeout. The strikeout number is a little high. You want to see that come down, but his batting average now up to 333 in this early season. This guy's been really good, man. This guy's been really good. I never want to see him in a River Cats uniform again. I'm going to keep saying this until I just pass out from lack of breath, because the Giants have been sending Ramos up and down and up and down. They did this to him last year. And I think this guy needs, at this point, I mean, they'll have to do it out of necessity because they have no other healthy bodies, but this guy needs reps at the big league level. This is a guy who has done everything that he's going to do at the AAA level, unlike other Giants prospects. I still think a guy like Luis Matos can benefit from time in Sacramento. I still think a guy like Marco Luciano can benefit from time in Sacramento and learning how to hit better down in AAA before coming up to the big leagues. But Ramos is a guy who I think is ready right now. I think that he did his part. He did everything he could to force the Giants' hand to bring him up from Sacramento earlier this season. Eventually, they have to do it out of necessity because of injuries anyways. And I really like what I'm seeing from him. And I think a lot of you guys could say the same thing too. Defensively, he's been a plus glove, a plus arm. I'm more than a plus arm. 2 outfield assists in 1 game, man. That was great. Saved runs in that game as well. I mean, this guy seems to have the immeasurable clutch factor to him. I mean, he had a great game against the Dodgers in one of his first action, or one of the first times we're seeing him against a team like this in a moment like this, where the pressure's on and it feels like a very intense game. It feels like, I'm not going to say a playoff game because the Giants are nowhere near a playoff team right now, 19-24. Let's not kid ourselves. But man, oh man, is it good to see some of these young guys playing well when there's virtually nothing else exciting about this Giants team. You got Jordan Hicks on the mound. That was nice. And you got these two young guys. That was cool too. Everything else with the Giants right now just kind of feels like bad vibes. I guess the Mike Yastrzemski sick diving catch, we can lump that in there too. But everything else from the Giants today just felt like bad vibes, man. You can't be getting picked off. That pickoff on Tyler Fitzgerald in the top of the ninth or bottom of the ninth. You can't have that. You cannot get a leadoff walk and then get picked off on the very next batter. Like, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Can't be giving away base runners, giving up free 90s in against teams like the Dodgers and expect to win. You can't do that. You can't be doing that when you are 19-24, almost halfway through the month of May. Like, we're getting close now to summertime. And once that calendar turns over to summer, the Giants are still below 500. That's going to be a big problem for them trying to climb out of this hole and get into the playoffs. I'm not saying that they're dead in the water yet. I mean, how many teams that have gone to the World Series in these last couple of years weren't even in playoff contention by the All-Star break? There's been a ton of them, but I think that it's going to be a lot to ask for the Giants to climb out of a hole like that, especially when you got to play against teams like the Dodgers, and the rest of the NL West isn't bad either. I mean, the Padres pretty good. It's the Diamondbacks, defending National League champions. So the NL West is stacked, man. And the Giants are going to have a tough road to getting back to being playoff contenders with all these injuries. I mean, Jung-Hoo Lee, one more update we should give you guys. I should have done this earlier in the show, but Jung-Hoo Lee did schedule a meeting with Dr. Ken Akazuki, and that the Giants are going to give us some more information tomorrow, I think. And we'll see what that is. I would suggest bracing yourself for some bad news, though. I don't see how this is going to be anything positive. I don't see how after a traumatic shoulder dislocation that intense, the Giants did also say yesterday, they did clarify it wasn't just a shoulder separation. It was a shoulder dislocation, which we all knew, I think, by watching that when how that happened. Scary hours for the Giants right now, man. I mean, you got everybody on the IL, and everyone who's playing seems to be not really contributing, at least of the guys who we expect to contribute. It's great to see these young guys stepping up, but the Giants are going to need more if they're going to want to beat teams like the Dodgers. Final 6-4, Giants lose in 10 innings. Waste to Jordan Hicks start. The young guns in the outfield play well, but it's not enough as the Giants run into some outs on the bases, give up some free 90s, and that's kind of all she wrote. That's all she needed for a team like the Dodgers. 28-15 now. The Giants fall to 19-24. That's all the time we got for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We will see you tomorrow as the Giants and Dodgers take on game 2 of this 3-game set at Oracle Park. We'll come to you live right afterwards, as we always do on the Locked On Giants postcast. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening. Peace.